We have some breaking news. The Madison County bond issue has passed. We just got off the phone with the clerk's office and they tell us the vote passed with 88% in favor. Only 60% was needed in order to pass. City officials say the past decade has brought tremendous growth to Madison County. That means the county school officials have been in a race to keep up with the student population. Voters have now approved a $61 million school bond issue. It will fund a variety of school building projects in the district. Well, Fox 40 News at 9 reporter Lynn Lampkin spoke to parents who feared if the vote didn't pass, it would affect their kids' education. And once again, that bond issue passed with an 88% of the vote. Only 60% was needed. In this Fox 40 News health alert tonight, a Hancock County resident becomes the state's fourth death related to swine flu, and the number of cases in the state rises to 838. But we do have some good news. The Food and Drug Administration approves an H1N1 swine flu vaccine, both as a shot and a nasal spray. Health officials say the vaccine will be available in early October. They predict the full supply will start arriving at 90,000 sites around the country a month from today. The National Institute of Health is still working out dosages, especially for children. The Hinds County Sheriff's Department is reeling tonight after the Hinds County Board of Supervisors cut 20 deputy positions. Hinds County Chief Deputy Steve Pickett tells Fox 40 News many of the names on the board will have to be laid off or not filled because of the county mandate. Pickett says the department has been trying to stay staffed at 220 deputies since a 1996 study urged them to do so. But now Pickett says it will be nearly impossible for the department to keep up with the county demands without keeping the folks they have now.
So these cuts.
Pickett says Sheriff McMillan has not decided exactly who will be laid off because of these cuts. A Fox 40 News alert, this just into our newsroom as well. The Pearl Board of Aldermen has voted to tear down the Pearl home that was at the center of an animal cruelty case back in April. Investigators confiscated dozens of animals from the home in the 2200 block of Upper Drive. Investigators say they found feces covering the floor of the home and feces inside the animals' cages. They say they also found animal corpses in the refrigerator. Most of the animals had to be euthanized because of poor health. Benny and Paula Keys were charged with animal cruelty and child neglect. Investigators say the two kept a 3-year-old child inside the home as well. At this time, a date has not been set when the home will be torn down. The Yazoo County District Attorney's Office is still considering whether to charge the teen who pulled a gun on a school bus as an adult. James Powell says he has reviewed the case, but says he has not decided whether she'll be charged as an adult. Powell says it may be more than a week before a decision is made. The girl's actions were captured on a bus surveillance camera, which showed football star Caleb Ewells wrestling the gun away from her. Ewells has been credited with saving many of the other students' lives. Luckily, no one was injured. And the man Vicksburg police say raped a woman turns himself in. 48-year-old Eddie Miller turned himself in today. Police say a 23-year-old woman gave Miller a ride home Saturday morning, but instead of being dropped off at his house, they say Miller went to an abandoned house on Halls Ferry Road. That's where police say Miller hid out and waited for the woman to get out of her car and then raped her. A Fox 40 News alert tonight. According to just released FBI crime stats, property crimes are up across the metro. Fox 40 News at 9 reporter Jessica Larche exposes the main link in the property crime increases and why the FBI's numbers may be deceiving. Ahead at 9:30, we have new information about an ongoing Fox 40 News investigation into JPD's fingerprint practices. Well, here's a breakdown of how other cities in the metro are faring in terms of property crimes. Flowood saw a nearly 22% jump. Brookhaven saw a 20% increase in property crimes, while Brandon saw a nearly 11% increase. The cost of college tuition in Mississippi has more than doubled over the past few years, but now families can lock in today's tuition rates for tomorrow's college students. Today, State Treasurer Tate Reeves kicked off the Mississippi Prepaid Affordable College Tuition Program at Rouse Elementary School in Jackson. Impact is the state's program that lets you freeze college tuition at its current rates, regardless of future tuition increases. Reeves says now more than ever, families should start saving for their child's college education.
It is a tremendous.
President Obama gives auto workers credit for the revival of a GM plant in Ohio. The president made a stop at the Lordstown plant in Lordstown, where laid-off workers are being brought back to build more fuel-efficient cars. The president says his Cash for Clunkers program created a new demand for GM's greener models and says he has focused on the needs of the workers who build those cars. President Obama's advisors say he is taking his reform agenda to workers directly to rebut critics who say his policies are hurting the middle class. In this Fox 40 News Economic Alert, Federal Reserve Chairman Ben Bernanke says the recession is likely over. In the wake of last September's financial crisis, Bernanke says regulators were successful in bringing the global economy back from the brink of collapse. And he says there is no longer widespread fear of financial ruin.
Both in the United States and abroad.
During his speech, Bernanke said while the economy is growing, it is not likely to stop unemployment from rising. Another Fox 40 News Economic Alert tonight. The travel business is in a crisis due to the economic climate. Tourism executives in the state are going to meet with lawmakers in Washington to create more ways to bring tourism to Mississippi. Tourism executives will leave for Washington tomorrow.